P.3 family, welcome to this week's devotional. Depending on when you're watching this, hope you either are having a great week or had a great week. We miss you guys and so excited to see you this Saturday. For this week's devotional, we'll be continuing our series of rebuilding and taking a look into Nehemiah chapter 4. So today we're going to be talking about dealing with obstacles, especially when we have a goal in mind, and we're going to be looking at what that's going to look like for the Jews in the passage as well as our personal lives. And so as we learned last week, a bunch of the families and groups of Jews are coming together and they're going to build this wall around Jerusalem. And so this is where Nehemiah 4 picks up when the building begins. So Nehemiah 4 starts off with Sanballat. He's probably saying that incorrectly, but he is a Samaritan leader and he did not like the wall being built. And so he gathers other groups of people to let Nehemiah know that that's not okay and that they basically start to threaten him. And so Sanballat and these groups of people are threatening Nehemiah. They're saying, hey, we're going to kill you. If you keep building this wall, we're going to stop you, essentially. So there are two things that really stand out to me about what they did and how they responded to this opposition. The first thing that they do is they pray. We see in verse 9 that they prayed for protection. And secondly, they joined up in community. They essentially employed a buddy system where one guy would be working and one guy would have a sword and they would protect each other. So if we look at their actions, to recap, they met this opposition with prayer and with community. And I wanted to dive in to what that might look like in your personal life when you meet opposition. I wanted to share a quick story about my personal life and how I can really relate to the position that the Jews are in Nehemiah 4. And while we might not be faced with a physical opposition like in Nehemiah, we have many other obstacles, maybe spiritually, mentally, maybe a sin that you struggle with, maybe anxiety, depression. And I look at those as oppositions that we can really bring to the Lord. So in this current story of Nehemiah, they don't know what's next. They don't know if they're going to finish this wall. It's just a giant question mark for their future. And that's exactly how I felt. I would say about 3 years ago, I really felt like the Lord was saying it's time for a career change. And I didn't know what that looked like. And it slowly became my opposition. It became something that I had to deal with and figure out. So I'm contemplating quitting my job, moving on to a new career. And actually our own Lindsay Ogawa, she prayed for me. And she felt like the Lord was saying, it's time very soon that a change is going to come with your job. And I was really scared. I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. But at the time I wasn't necessarily planning on quitting. And God is so funny, he works. And so I actually got let go 2 months later. And so I was like, okay, God, I guess if I'm not gonna do it, you're gonna help me. And so this whole new career path becomes my opposition because I don't know what's next. And so as many of you know, I decided to pursue occupational therapy. I started prerequisites, I studied for the GRE, I became a full-time student again. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. I was very disappointed. I really worked my booty off, but it just didn't work out. And unfortunately, I didn't get into any OT schools. And so I was kind of back to square one. And again, just like the Jews, a big obstacle was continuing to be a burden. And again, looking back on this, I can say this, and it's not the Christianese answer, but I didn't pray much about becoming an OT. I think I really felt like, oh, God would want me to do this, and I kind of just went with it. And I think I kind of really did everything on my own. I thought I just need to study on my own, do this on my own, and just really take a very solo approach to it, and which obviously it ended up not working out. And so to this day, about 8, 9, 10 months ago, this obstacle was really eating at me, and so I said, what do I need to do? And I knew that I needed to pray. I needed to just fully rely on what God had for me and what He had planned versus my own inhibitions, versus what I thought I might need to be doing. I also asked for prayer from my community, from obviously all the people that are very close to me to help on this journey. And oh, I don't want to get hit by a car. And so today, about I would say 9 to 10 months ago, I felt the Lord saying, hey, I think you should go maybe try this, going back to advertising is what I do now. And I thought, no, God, no, no, no. But I was more confident in this because I prayed a lot about it and I felt at peace with interviewing and all that stuff. So today I'm in a great job. I love my career now, and it's just so cool how God works, because even like I said, 9, 10 months ago, this obstacle was really eating at me, and it was just this opposition that I didn't know what to do. So Revive family, I wanted to dive deep and start thinking about not only the oppositions that we go through, maybe daily, monthly, yearly, not only what they are, but how do we deal with these oppositions? When the tough gets going, do we start praying immediately? Do we have an accountability partner that we can call and say, hey, I'm struggling with this? Or do we try to do it alone? And I want to say that everyone handles opposition differently. There's not necessarily a good or a bad way. I think there are unhealthy ways to deal with things. But at the end of the day, we are a Revive family, we're a community, and the goal is to grow together. And so I want you guys to keep just processing and thinking about how do we deal with opposition. Well, thank you so much, Revive family, for listening. I'm so excited to see you all and chat on Saturday. And hopefully by the time I see you on Saturday, the Lakers will be up 2 games to 1. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.